Over the past few weeks, I think I've been a little hard on Digital Homicide. The people who made the games got what they deserved, and the games themselves were made with little or no care whatsoever. They were, however, dirt cheap, and I feel I created the idea that I expected too much for games at this price. So for fairness sakes, I'll keep the price heavily in mind for future Digital Homicide games. So let's test this new way of thinking on this week's game, Forsaken Uprising. Forsaken Uprising was an RPG game that featured open worlds, crafting, and building, or at least tried to feature those type of things. The game originally was available on Steam Early Access and was the first game made by Digital Homicide, the game that really started the train wreck that was called Digital Homicide. When I got the game, they priced it for 99 cents, a fraction of what it was originally priced during Early Access, which was 20 bucks. Now for anyone who got it when it was in Early Access, all I can say is, ouch. I really feel bad for you, and I really understand your pain. But as much as I want to review this game as if I got it for Early Access money, I didn't. So don't expect as big of a butchering of this game as other videos out there. So let's start off with the game's premise, an open world survival adventure fest type game. And for 99 cents, it pulls off the open world part quite well. The world does feel a little expansive. I did walk around quite a bit, but I didn't test to see if there was any invisible walls near the hills, so I can't tell you for sure. The adventure part of the game seems like it was an afterthought. The graphics look awful even for early access, but for 99 cents, well, it still looks bad. There isn't much to do when it comes to quests, which is pretty much the lifeblood of adventure games. There is only 4 quests, which 3 run constantly until they are completed, even though there's a timer to it, and when it runs out, well, you still are able to complete it for some reason. And there aren't many enemies either. All of them run towards you on sight, though. They have specific spawn points as well, so you can always see them respawn. But none of them are that tough if you master the art of backing up while spamming the attack button. You'll never get touched once. While we're on controls, let's talk about how they work. Basic controls are self-explanatory: WASD movement, shift to run, left click to attack, the normal stuff. But since it is an RPG action-adventure game with crafting, it is the most complicated Digital Homicide game out there, and it can take some time to learn. Now it's time to talk about the survival part of the game. As I said before, there is crafting, and while I could explain this part factually, like I do usually, instead I'll tell it through personal experience. Story time! So I was playing the game for a little over an hour, and while the graphics were bad and the controls were not great, I was overall having a little fun. Which is probably the funniest thing I've said in this damn review, but anyway, I was having a little fun. After seeing nothing but crates and furnaces everywhere, I thought I'll do this game a favor, build a house, then X out and give this game a relatively clean bill of health. And by the way, I didn't know about the whole early access fiasco back then. And so I gathered the supplies from piles of wood and stones that you had to hit with a tool. And no, you couldn't chop down trees for wood or mine the ground to make a mine for stone. No, that would make too much sense. Get it from glowing piles. But anyway, I gathered all the supplies and made the foundation, walls, stairs, and some ceiling. After placing the foundation, I tried to place the walls, but they wouldn't go down. I crafted different walls, and still nothing. I thought I was doing something wrong, but after looking it up, I found out while you could place the foundation down, you couldn't place the walls, the stairs, pillars, the ceilings, or the doors. That's kinda what you need to make a house a house. It's like aiming down the sights in Call of Duty. The game can be played without it, but it is pretty important to the game. It makes me wonder how they forgot to code the game so you can place things. It's not like they forgot it altogether. They remembered to put a crafting recipe for it, they remembered to make it craftable and to show up in your inventory, they remembered to texture it, and even remembered to put a marker there to let you know where you're placing it. But they didn't remember to have it actually placed down. This makes all construction materials other than foundations useless, and all waste of materials. It also explained why I didn't see any man-made buildings, but instead piles of crates, furnaces, and the occasional empty foundation. This also made my opinion of the game do a complete 180. I don't care how much your game is, or even if it's free, but I expect the game to be relatively complete and or functional, even if it's early access. This game is neither. And I still can't believe people paid $20 for this game during early access. But let's get to the main point. Would I recommend this game for the 99 cents I paid for it? No. Not even close. The fact that scammed people during early access, then the developers got the hell out of Dodge as soon as the game had some community and was making some money, and while leaving the game at a stage where half the stuff doesn't work, disgusts me. This is easily the worst Digital Homicide game ever made, because at least all the other Digital Homicide games were complete. They were terrible, but they were complete. Speaking of other Digital Homicide games, I'm gonna review Starship Nova Strike next week. So yeah, I'm Oscar7. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next week. If you guys want to see my previous videos, you can go on my channel and click on the playlist. And if you guys really like the videos, you can subscribe or like if you want to. But yeah, I will see you guys next week on Starship Nova Strike. Oh boy.